Hey, welcome back to the Let Go Movement podcast. My name is Acacia, and around here we are sharing what it's like to live well, let go, and keep showing up for the life that you are creating and want. Our journeys are unique, they're layered, they're nuanced, and they're never a one size fits all. I'm here sharing what's helping myself, what's helping my clients, and what's possible when we stop holding on to what we were never meant to carry. Let's get into the episode. Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode. Today I want to talk about why leaving out the energetics and the emotions in your healing is another form of just treating the symptoms. Now, before we go and dive into this conversation, there is the physical world that we are in and we are experiencing. And underneath all that, there's the energetic undertones. It's the fabric, it's the frequency, it's all the quantum things that then get translated into the physical world. Now, when we're doing the physical things, all the things we need to be doing, it is great. But if we were to take all those things away, is the undertone, the programming, the belief system, the energetic highways, are they flowing? Is it aligned with where we want to go? If not, we're going to recreate the thing that we just tried to get rid of in the physical world. It's going to pop up again because the energetics haven't aligned yet. So, this is why I think it's really important for anyone in their health journey to bring these two aspects together as much as possible. And really, as you're doing your workouts, are you also taking care of your energetic and emotional state? And the work that I do, are we releasing things that our body does not need to have anymore? Are we actually letting go of what we've stored in our bodies over all these years living and also what we've inherited from our ancestors? Things that got locked into their bodies then got passed down to us. This is where I love going. So, this is where we're going to go. In these next 3 episodes, this is where we're going. So, for me personally, there was a time in my life that I was doing all the right things. I was eating the right food. The food I thought was right for me, the right supplements. I was seeing amazing practitioners. I was in great shape. I still had pain that wasn't budging. And I felt like I was quietly falling apart behind the scenes, even though from the outside I was doing things and I was really good at hiding it. Hashtag professional dancer, like so trained on not to let the audience know what's going on inside, even though I was falling apart. And it was beginning to take a toll on my overall health. And then when I was introduced to what I do today with people, what I've come to learn and witness and see in my own journey and the clients that I've worked with is that healing or creating something new in your body isn't just about what you put in your body or do with it. It has a lot to do with what your body is still holding on to and our capacity to be with our bodies and what it's communicating with us. And if you're only looking at food, medicine, and alternative treatments, but you're ignoring the emotions and the energies, it's like repainting a house while the foundation is cracked, right? We want to go to where the cracks are. And oftentimes, those are some darker places, perhaps, or, that's a memory that we don't really like to remember. But that's where the release of the energetics and the trapped emotions is. And that's where the foundation gets rebuilt or sealed up. And then those beautiful creations in the home really start to take on a life of their own. They really start to build out for you. I went on a little bit of a tangent there, but basically you get it. So, like, repainting a house is great, but if you're not addressing the foundation that has some cracks and some leaks in it, like, the house is not strong, right? So, this conversation is nuanced. I do want to put it out there. It's nuanced, it's layered, it's multifaceted, it's broad and specific at the same time. It's a conversation that brings in various different approaches. But for today, I want to share with you why, in a lot of ways, leaving out the energetics or the emotional elements in your healing journey, regardless of what it is just another form of treating your symptoms. So let's look at why the physical only approach keeps people in this little bit of a stuck loop, or why you feel like you're doing all these things, but things aren't budging. Your body is not just a collection of cells and organs, it's a living, breathing storybook of everything you've ever experienced and experiencing. Okay. Your body holds every memory. If the emotion or an energetic frequency attached to these moments are not fully processed or let go, the body will store them. So every heartbreak, every moment of fear, every time you swallowed your emotions instead of expressing them, your body remembers all of this. It stores it for later. So similarly, your conditioning, what you believe, what you've been taught to judge, your limitations, those low vibrational thoughts about yourself, what you've taken on from the people around you subconsciously and unconsciously, everything you've stuffed down and in, these create the foundations. This creates the foundation of that house, right? Of you. And just like old files taking up space on a computer, your body stores the unprocessed emotions, the energetics, the outdated belief systems until it's literally can't handle the overload anymore. And we have symptoms start to show up, or things in our life start to go a little havocy. And for the most part, we've been taught to just address the physical and fix it without looking at the deeper layer, right? But I think as the world is changing, more and more people are willing to look at these layers and actually see, acknowledge, and recognize these connections. So I'm very grateful for everyone in my field in various ways and the science that's coming up to back what we've known for so long and everyone playing in this realm. I think there's some amazing people out there, and I'm very honored to be in this group of people doing this work for other people and with other people. So imagine your body like a bathtub. I love this example. So every stressful feeling or experience or unprocessed emotion or moment of emotional suppression, it's like turning the faucet on. So like a little at a time, like great, but eventually it's all going to add up. And so now the water's not draining properly because you never release those emotions. You just kept filling up the tub until it starts to overflow. And when you start, this is when you start seeing like chronic pain or fatigue or discomfort, inflammation, and various other physical symptoms, but also things in life. You know, all of a sudden you're wondering, like, why the hell is this all of a sudden all happening? Or I can't quite seem to get over this one thing. Well, you're not draining the bathtub. You're not releasing the emotions. So what most people will do is just like mop up the floor. Like something will come up and they'll like mop it up. They'll take a medication, they'll switch diets, they'll try a new supplement, they'll kind of like do the thing for 30 days or whatever, but they never actually like pull the plug to drain the water, like actually let it all out. So how do we pull the plug though, right? That's where the emotions and the energy comes in. This is where energy work comes in. This is where breath work comes in. This is where emotion code works comes in. This is where getting your bars is part of your process. This is where mixing modalities that really align with you happen. This is where the work that I do with clients, where we do mix the body, the meditation, the sensory work with the energy clearing and the verbal processing and the re-shifting of a perspective comes into play. So this is where, for example, I had recently a rash along my arm, specifically my lung and liver channel. And my body was asking to release unprocessed, unacknowledged anger. And when I did the work, the rash, I shit you not, went away. So it was happening. It was a little discomforting. It was very itchy. And I was like, what is this? And I was at my friend's house. She's like, oh, that's your lung and liver channel. I'm like, oh yeah, duh. And then I was like, oh yeah, I've been a little angry lately, but I've been like keeping it in. So it's not that it's like one and done and you're never going to have anger again. It's never not going to have frustration again. Things are going to come up, but are you willing to process it and acknowledge it so it doesn't become a stuffed down and starts reacting later on? So another one is like I had really bad period cramps. You guys all know the story. And when I took time back when I was like in my mid 20s, I was doing 6 painkillers for the first 2 days of every period. So, outside of my dancing world, needing to numb my pain every now and then, every month for 2 days, I was on like 12 plus Advil. And then I did this work, this energy clearing work around my sexual organs and my, what it is to be a woman and to hold the period and to have a period and all the things and let out all the shame from all of the generations I was holding on to. And I can't tell you how big of a difference that felt. First of all the energy that I was feeling through the 2 sessions that it took to get to the stage I am now. But I went from having to take pills because I could not function to not. Literally 1 month difference, 2 sessions, I wasn't popping pills. I was also learning to listen to my body for when I was on my period and what it was asking me to do. So I need to like take more rest time. Okay, maybe if I'm traveling or I have to be in a call and been having a very stressful time, my body's going to react a little bit differently. So maybe I do have to take a small Advil to get me through a very on point day, but I'm listening to my body. I'm doing everything I can to support my body through the weeks leading up to my period and in my period. And when I start to feel the quote unquote pain again, I go straight to the work that I do on myself again because I'm still holding on to something or I've been stuffing it down or something new has come up that I need to release. And I had this by the time I'm airing this, probably like back in November 2024, I was having a couple periods where I was like, oh, these are getting pretty bad again. Like, what is going on here, body? Did the work. Next period, December 2024, I was fine. Like, literally night and day. Like, this shit sometimes even blows my own mind. We oftentimes have those, autoimmune diseases also. And when we begin to heal these, we start to heal the trauma and the events around our life. I just wanted to also bring that into play. Like, you can have these little tiny things, and you can also have these big things that are all attached to suppressed experiences and emotions that got trapped, that weren't fully processed. And when we do the work and we start to release it, we start to see even things like autoimmune diseases self heal. Also, if you're listening to this and you know that you are ready for a deeper level of support, I work with women to liberate their bodies from all the emotional baggage that has been stuck and shoved down that is now possibly showing up as low energy, chronic pain, or other health issues or concerns that you want to take a look at from a energetic perspective. Through a supportive, non invasive, gentle body based practice, get ready to feel light, energized, renewed, and vibrant again. Get ready to create a whole new way of being with your body and life. I love seeing my clients release and feel that lightness, really get connected with themselves, and fully step into the life they're creating once again. So if you're feeling that nudge, check the show notes to find all the ways that we can connect. I'm not just making this up. There is some science behind this. So, in the epigenetic and generational trauma research from Dr. Rachel Ayuda, I believe her name is called, they found that trauma can literally change how genes are expressed. So, meaning your body's stress response, immune function, and even inflammation levels can be shaped by what we've been through or what our ancestors have experienced and passed down to us. This is an area I'd love to facilitate with my clients. It is the releasing of inherited emotions and energetics because they really aren't working or supporting us in the direction of our highest and joyful expression now. And it's amazing to see how much the body is willing to let go of and clear out when we do this work. The nervous system and healing, when we experience stress or trauma, the body shifts into a fight, flight, or freeze mode. And this is great if we're running from like legitimate danger. We want this. This is beautiful. We all know this, but not so great if it's happening every time we're getting triggered by little things in life. Maybe a door slamming or a loud voice or an event on TV. If your nervous system is stuck in survival mode, your body deprioritizes healing. Okay, so if we're constantly in this triggered subconscious state, our nervous system will literally be like, your healing is for another day because I have to keep you alive now. Okay, it doesn't understand past events and present events, and it doesn't understand what's happening now versus what it thinks is happening. So this is why chronic stress keeps you stuck in a loop of always getting sick or lead to like bigger health concerns because the body literally isn't in the position to process and shift into its natural healing state to start to process these emotions. And this is why, I mean, I've worked with people who've had very like big traumas in their childhood. Like one lady, her house exploded, a gas tank exploded in her house and like crumbled on her and she was stuck in her home. And I was doing a process with her, and she told me a week later that this is what had happened when she was 5. And that anxiety about like coming and going into her home had gone away because her body was just safe enough in the moment to finally let go of what it was holding on to. So it was a beautiful example of how this work can impact those things that you kind of just live with but what would it be like to not have to live with and live something completely different? And studies in, let me see if I can remember how to say this word, physioneuroimmunology, that's a big word. The study of how emotions impact the immune system basically show that like long held emotions like grief and anger and resentment can increase inflammation and weaken the immune system and alter the gut bacteria. Now, if you know anything about the wellness industry right now, we are all about decreasing that inflammation. We are all about boosting your immune system, and we are all about the not the gut brain connection and how the gut is so freaking important. We're all taking supplements to help our gut. If we are, and here is the whole point of this episode. If we are holding on to grief, holding on to anger, fucking deadlocking that resentment to whatever we have in life. Do you realize that it doesn't matter how many supplements you're taking? Like, if you were to go off those supplements and you're still holding on to those things, I would probably bet you that something is going to come up again because we're not letting go of the grief. We're not letting go of the anger. We're not letting go of the resentment. We're just kind of masking the experience of that. But we need to clear that up. I promise you. Well, I can't promise anything. But my bet is all the work you're doing on yourself physically is going to get 10 times better or actually work faster and be in more harmonious um, healing process if you are to also take the supplements, lower that inflammation, boost your immune system. All that's going to go up, just putting a very educated guess on here, if we're also letting go of the grief that we've maybe held in for a really long time. And that we're actually processing our anger and that we're actually letting go of the resentment and finding peace. Like, hello, welcome a whole new world. Welcome such beautiful guts and no inflammation and strong ass immune systems, right? But yet, emotions are often the very last thing that people look at. And even though they are a direct impact on our physical health, we are still not going there first. And I want to encourage us to, if we're not going to go there first, how about we go there second? 1.2, right? Because I truly, truly believe the more we can let go, the more that we can release that we don't have to carry for our own selves and the world at large. Like, I don't need to carry on the stories of my ancestors in a way that actually doesn't serve my body. I can let it go. It's not about invalidating it. It's about not trapping it in us and holding it to be true and right for us, even though it's that lower vibration and our body wants to process it because we are joy. We are all these beautiful things. So it is about flowing and it is about loving and it is about being in joy with your body. So most people's approaches, like, it's just a battle. Like, we constantly hear this also. I'm battling this, I'm battling that, I'm battling this. And I really want to see us not fight our symptoms, not fight their bodies, not fight themselves, but really start to flow and be present and ask questions and allow ourselves to open up. Let go. And I say let go so much, but it's so true. We can see something and we can hold on to it. Or we can see something and we can ask some questions and be willing to let it go. And then let it go. Release it. Surrender it. People love the word surrender. Surrender it to a higher source that you believe in. Surrender it to the universe. You don't have to be the carrier of it, especially when it's not working for you in your direction, like your truth and your light and your honoring in this lifetime. And it's about rebuilding the connection with ourselves because we've been taught to ignore the sensations and make it all mental, make it all physical. But it's really a communication about what is going on inside, what has been going on inside, right? And what has been going on in the experiences that we're still kind of bringing with us subconsciously. So I would like to see us move into a world where we're letting go and we're flowing and we're communicating. And when we release trapped emotions, here's what happens. We free up the energy that once was locked in survival mode. We free that energy flow and we shift into thriving. When we shift out of the stress responses, we create space for healing to happen. Remember, we're no longer deprioritizing our health, we're actually prioritizing our health. When we bring the nervous system back into neutral, when we regulate it, when we're calm, when we're working on being safe, we reactivate and shift back into that natural healing state. And when we let go of resistance, the body does what it's always been designed to do, is restore balance. So, I'd love to hear from you. So drop a yes in the comments if you ever felt like you've been doing everything right on your healing journey, but deep down, you know something is still missing. And if it's landing for you, if your body is whispering, this is the missing piece, this is the exact work I do when I guide women through every day in my practice. So, inside my private work, we clear what the body is holding onto, the emotions, the patterns, the energies that are quietly keeping you stuck so you can feel lighter. We can get back to feeling freer. We can finally start moving forward in your health and life. So, if you are ready for that level of support, I'd love to invite you to book a free consult with me. This is where we'll explore what's showing up for you, what your body's been carrying on to, and how I can support you in releasing it. And you'll find that booking link below, wherever this you're watching or listening to this in the description somewhere. And either way, stay with me for the next episodes because we're going to go break down the subconscious pattern that I think is keeping a lot of people in the loop of the same symptoms or struggling without even realizing it. Okay, I'll talk to you in the next episode. I'll see you and hopefully chat with you on a call. Until then, bye guys. Thank you so much for being here today. I'm so grateful I get to do life and conversation like this together. If today landed for you, I would love to hear what your takeaways were. Hop over to Instagram and hit me up in the DMs or leave a comment below. I love reading all of them. And if you haven't already done so, pay it forward by subscribing, leaving a review, or sharing this with someone that you love. These actions directly impact the show and they help us reach a new audience, so I am very grateful in advance. And if you want to explore working together or dive deeper into this work, you can check out in the show notes all my current offers and ways to connect. Until next time, everybody, have a magical and fantastic day.